Hey there, YouTube. Ghost Jake here with you today. How's your day going? I hope you're having a good day or a good night, depending where you are in the world. I just got done watching the Exorcist TV show, episode 10. Episode 10. Right? Now, this will contain spoilers in case you have not seen episode 9. But if you have, feel free to give this video a watch. Okay, now let us begin with the review. First off, I just wanted to let you know in the video that season 1, episode 10 of the Exorcist TV show, it is in fact the season finale for the Exorcist TV show. So with that, fans of the Exorcist and fans of the Exorcist TV show, let's hope they decide to pick it up again for another season, for season 2. Now let us begin. Yes. But before we begin, I forgot to mention one thing. Next week, or later on this week, might keep it this Friday, next Friday, to keep it with how I've been doing the Exorcist series. I'm gonna have the demon's origins story from the prequel to The Exorcist all the way up to the Exorcist TV show. Okay, now let us begin with the review. Now this episode, it takes place immediately after episode 9 ended, where the demon is in Angela Ranch, aka Reagan, where he's like, "Oh, I'm not possessed. This is integration. She invited me in." Right? And it takes place where the demon was like choking Casey or Catherine, and then all of a sudden Father Thomas comes in. Father Thomas comes in and he's like, "You leave them alone." And the demon then like picks up Father Thomas and throws him against the wall and knocks him out. And then Father Thomas wakes up like in his mind, because like you see the demon, but before that you see the demon with a knife. He puts it by Father Thomas's hand and like does something with her hand to his forehead, and then it goes and he wakes up like in a house he grew up at. At a house he grew up at, where he grew up at when he was younger, and then he turns. He's like, "Oh, this can't be real. This is some sort of trick." And then he sees Father Marcus in his room, and then that is when the credits start rolling. Where they like the opening theme song is coming. The opening theme song is coming, right? So it is a pretty exciting first 5 minutes just right there. Then we see Father Thomas and what I'm pretty sure is the demon disguised as Marcus in Thomas's mind. Not entirely right. And they're having a little bit of a conversation. And then meanwhile the demon is talking to Angela's family and is like, we need to do something about this, and Henry is staring down the demon, and he's like, I am going to kill you. Is pretty much what he says to the demon. And the demon's like, oh, okay. You can tell the demon is not worried about his threat whatsoever. Right? And then he's not worried about his threat whatsoever at all. And then it goes to the real Father Marcus and Father Bennett. And yes, Father Bennett is still alive. He is still kicking. And then we see the corrupt priest, or the possessed priest, interrogating Father Bennett and Father Marcus. And he brings the demon summoning jar, the full of the ashes. Right? And what he does, he slits their wrists. Right? He slits their wrists. And he's like, okay, here is the deal. You guys can pretty much say yes to integration. So pretty much saying yes to being possessed and living, or you can just die. It is up to you, because they're tied to chairs right now, so they can't do nothing while their wrists are cut and they're pretty much just bleeding all over the place and starting to lose consciousness. And then you can start to see how that Maria Walters lady is starting to feel bad. Like, oh, I guess you're going too far. Right? And we have stuff. And it's time, time for us to go and whatnot. And the demon priest doesn't want anything to do with it. He's like, you just learn your place. Pretty much just saying, yeah, I don't pretty much care what you think. But before all that happened, they did inform all the other guys saying, oh, Angela can't join us because she has domestic problems, meaning the demon. Anyway, now we are going back to the Rance house. We are going back to the Rance house where the demon brings out a hammer. Right? And the reason why he is doing that is because during one instance he was going to hit Catherine, right? One instance he was going to hit Catherine, maybe before he brought the hammer out. And all of a sudden his hand stopped. It's like, why did his hand stop? Well. AKA Reagan is still fighting him. She is still hiding. She did not fully accept the deal about, being possessed. Like, she did not fully accept it fully. She might, like in episode, I believe like in episode 8, she may have made the deal with the demon so the demon wouldn't, saying the demon could possess her so the demon wouldn't kill Casey. But she is not, fully possessed. She is still hanging on, even though she's kind of hiding in a room. But it doesn't really help matters, though, that, before, doesn't really help matters that before that Catherine was antagonizing the demon. Very much. It's like, oh, what kind of powerful being gets pretty much owned by like a 12-year-old girl is pretty much what she said. And the demon did not like that whatsoever. That is when he was going to hit Catherine, and Reagan stopped her. Stopped him. Anyway, but now we're back to the hammer. Like he spins the hammer, like playing, like spin the bottle. It's like whoever the hammer hands on is going to get, ripped apart. He's going to, like a hammer landed on Catherine. And so the demon, with his twisted plan, says, okay, so how about this? Casey, I want you to bash Catherine's knee, or I'm going to rip your father's arms off. And Casey was refusing. She couldn't do it. And the demon started using his powers to start to pull Henry's arms out, further and further and further. Then all of a sudden, Catherine just grabs the hammer and just bashes her own knee in to prevent the demon from doing it. And then the demon kind of got a smile on his face, like, oh, I didn't expect that. But now we go back into Father Thomas's mind. Okay? We're back in Father Thomas's mind. He's talking to Marcus, right? And he's like, oh, you pretty much just lied to yourself over and over and over and over and over again. Right? And I'm pretty sure it's the demon hallucination of Marcus. He's telling him, it's like, oh, it's like, the demon brought his dead grandmother in to mess with his mind, right? Saying, oh, you couldn't even go see her on her deathbed, right? It's like, and he pretty much just lied and lied again about everything. It's like, oh, let's see. Like, you lied about your lover, you lied about you heard the voice of God, and where did it got you? It got you pretty much nothing. And then, you can see his body start to pick up the knife and start to put it to his throat. Right? The real, his actual body. But he was actually doing that with his, to himself and in his mind. But the way how it worked, whatever the demon did to him, whatever he did in his dream affects his actual actions with his real body. Right? So, and he was like, okay. And then he realizes and he drops the knife and he's like, wait. suicide's a sin. Like, I'd be condemned to hell. So he just drops the knife. And he's like, oh, you're talking about all the stuff I have to lose. Like how, and he mentions how like he lied to Angela, like wasn't honest with Jessica and everyone. It's like those aren't weaknesses. He's like I should have just been honest with everyone. He's like, those aren't weaknesses, those are strengths. He's like, and when he's like, what does that make you? He's like, that makes me an exorcist. And then all of a sudden, Father Thomas actually gets up. He actually wakes up his real body, and he grabs a cross. And you're gonna like this. The classic Exorcist fans. Like, Father Thomas said the famous words from the original movie to Reagan, "The power of Christ compels you." He actually said that. And guess what? It knocked the demon back. So Father Thomas actually has strength this time with, about being an exorcist. He actually has the strength this time. He's not getting owned like he got last time by the demon. So, and then the exorcism is beginning. Now we see now it panels over to Father Marcus and Father Bennett. And like I said, right before the priest leaves, the corrupt priest had to go, and left Maria in charge to guard. He summoned the demons. He's like, okay, pretty much whoever gets possessed, and if you die, you die. And then he left to go pretty much assassinate the Pope. And then Father Marcus is like, oh, you hang in there, Bennett. Like, don't you listen to it, because the demon cloud of like ash was over Bennett's face, and was talking to him, and was like using the voice of like Bennett's sister, right, to Bennett, even though all we saw was the ash cloud on pretty much on the screen. And so the demon is like being really strong, being pretty strong. And then all of a sudden, Maria just like, he's like, you just gotta take. Marcus is like saying to Maria, he's like, oh, you really want it? You pretty much just gotta take it. And then the demon finally possesses Maria. But while she's suffering from the side effects, Marcus breaks free with the hand that didn't get slit, and breaks free with the hand that did not get slit, and knocks out, pretty much kills the two priests, and helps Bennett get free. And then Father Bennett leaves, like bandages his arm, and then he goes in, and then he leaves to go save the Archbishop. All right. Now, in the meantime, with the Rance family, right, what we got is Father Marcus is doing the exorcism. Father Thomas is doing the exorcism, my bad. I caught myself. Father Marcus is doing the exorcism. And at this point, it's kind of a standstill. Right? Kind of a shift for power. While the family is on their way out the door, Casey's like, no. Right? And then they leave to go. Then Casey turns back. He's like, sorry, I can't. And she goes and she finds the Bible. And she starts, and she, Henry, and Catherine, I really like this, okay? They all go back to the room with Angela and Father Thomas. And I really like this part, okay? The family, so Henry, Angela, and Catherine, they are all assisting with the exorcism to helping Father Thomas defeat the demon. And it is working. Then we see like Angela in her mind, and she opens the door to the room she hid it so she wouldn't get fully possessed. It's like, you want me? Come and get me. It's like, I'm done fighting. I'm done looking over my sword of warring. Right? And then what we get is, I really like this because Angela is actually kicking ass. She is actually kicking the demon's ass once again. Even kicking the demon's ass once again. Even though more so in the actual movie, The Exorcist, Father Damien Karras kind of just made a deal with the demon and then jumped down the stairs, but still. Winning is winning. Right? And then it looks like as the exorcism is successful, it looks like the demon like breaks Angela's back, but it makes you lead to believe that it breaks Angela's back. And then the exorcism was successful because the demon leaves and it gets driven out. Or at least that's what it appears to be. Right, but I'm pretty sure it just leaves. Because like you can see her eyes start to change back to normal. And then we see Father Marcus. He goes and he kills the corrupt priest in front of the archbishop. And then we see and then we see a nice little scene where after that we see a nice little scene where Casey is talking to Father Marcus, right? It's like, how do you like go on? And he's just asking, like, do you ever keep tabs on the people you saved? And then Father Marcus informs Casey that she is one of the strongest individuals he's ever seen with the exorcism, because there has been so many people fighting the demon, and no one has fought it as long as Casey has. Don't know if it's true or if he just said that to make her feel better, but I'd like to believe it was true. And then you see Father Bennett and Father Marcus and Thomas at a table. And what we get is after they leave, Father Thomas is like, oh, where are you going to go after this? He's like, I don't know, wherever it takes me. He's like, how about you stay here and train me to be an exorcist? So, yes, Father Thomas actually wants to be an exorcist. and it appears that and Father Marcus agrees pretty much. And then one final scene before we're done, we go over to the Ranch family's new house, and everything appears to be fine with them. Okay, this is Ghost. Everything appears to be fine with them. This is Ghost Jake signing out, and I really enjoyed this season of The Exorcist, and I'm hoping it gets a season 2. Till then, see you later.